Welcome to the video, everyone. Before we start, a big shout out to our sponsors for today. FOCO. If you don't know what FOCO is, this is what FOCO is. This is what FOCO is.
That is what FOCO is behind his head as well.
Click the link. Check out FOCO. If you use the code cftvyt, 15, you get a 15% discount. They got some really good stuff. Lots of funky gear. Very nice. Little Hawaiian shirt.
Love it.
Check it out.
Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Make sure you lot are smashing up the lights as always. Make sure that you lot are leaving your comments in here. Let me know what you think of the breakdown of the game. Let me know what you think of, Maresca ball so far, man. What we need to do to improve going forward, because I'm honestly sick and tired of saying we're a team that just turn up in halves. Yeah. Against Wolves, we were shit in the first half. Second half, we were very good. Against Palace, we were good in the first half, very controlled. Second half, we were shit. Yeah, from the players to Maresca, the in-game management wasn't good enough, So I thought I'd put a little something together for you guys, give you a little bit of content over the international break. Just, kind of breaking down the game, man, and pointing things out that I liked in the game and certain things that I didn't like about the game, because there's definitely positives to take from the game. I didn't walk away from the game thinking we got battered or Palace could have won that game. It wasn't like that. If anything, we should have won that game, right? 5 big chances created to their 0, yeah, and we've only scored 1 goal, right? Our XG outperformed them as well. Last week I was bigging us up because Wolves, we had lesser XG than them, but we scored 6 goals because it was very clinical in front of goal. And that's what we need to start to do. We need to be killers in front of goal, right? If we score at least 2 goals in that first half with the chances that we had, we win that game comfortably, I reckon. Because it was hot as well. Palace, it'll get to that point where they need to start attacking now, and there'll be a lot more spaces in behind. Because one thing that Chelsea have struggled with last season, we struggled with low blocks. That's something that Poch wasn't able to coach. He was just, depending on individual talent. That's why it was Cole Palmer FC. But this time around, I'm actually seeing consistent patterns from pre-season, from the get-go. I could clearly see Maresca likes to get it to the wingers, and isolate the fullbacks, right? And when I saw the lineup, I was happy with it. I'm seeing Neto left wing, I'm seeing Madueke right wing, I'm seeing Jackson up top, Cole Palmer as a 10, Enzo Caicedo pivot, Gusto, Colwell, Cucurella, and Fofana, right? Very good lineup. Sanchez in goal, unfortunately, right? Very good lineup. And that's what I want to be seeing, because last season I was seeing us playing the likes of Forest, playing the likes of West Ham, playing the likes of Brentford, and we're starting 2 attackers. Yeah? This is a game where I was confident going into it, because against Palace, as bad as we've been the past few seasons, right, we have beaten them 13 times in a row. When we finished 12th, we beat them twice that season. And Gallagher scored in one of the games to win us the game, yeah? If you remember in that white kit with the blue writing, right? So they've actually been our whipping boys, similar to how West Ham have been Man City's whipping boys recently, over the past few seasons or whatever. They have been our whipping boys. And I was confident going into this game because they've got no Elise, they've got no Anderson. So ultimately they've been weakened. But I knew it wouldn't be a game where they're just going to come out and play, even though they've got a bit braver. They were always going to sit back for majority of the game because they're playing away and they know how dangerous our attackers are, But in the first half, like I said, I thought we controlled the game. I said, I thought off the ball, we will keep in a good shape defensively. I felt like, in terms of the chance creation as well, like you had a chance that Enzo created from Madueke, where he just slipped it over the top. Very similar to what he did against West Ham for João Felix's goal, sorry. He did the same sort of thing. Fofana played the ball over the top to Madueke as well. He should have been burying that. You know what I'm saying? So there's a few chances that we had in the first half where I'm like, away from Jackson's goal, we should have been winning the game at least by 2 goals. You know what I'm saying? At least by 2 goals, right? But what I want to start off by doing, people, is going through the shape that I noticed, how we were playing and what Maresca was trying to do in order to actually break down the low block. So if you look here, people, yeah, this is the shape that we took up in the first half. Yeah. So this was the build. So you had Caicedo, who basically kept dropping in as like a centre-back. You had Gusto, who was inverting into the midfield. He was mainly playing with Palmer in the midfield. and Enzo was basically like the furthest midfielder. And Fofana was taking up Gusto's position as like a right back. And for me, I think Maresca was trying to do this so the midfield wasn't congested, and he was trying to stretch the pitch as much as possible. Because if you play Fofana over here and then you've got, you know, Gusto inverting over here, this man here is going to have to press him, right? And as soon as he gets pressed, you're leaving spaces in behind. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he goes over here, you're leaving spaces in behind. And that is another way of trying to attack that low block, because Palace off the ball, they defended very well. You know, their shape off the ball was very good. So if I show you guys what their shape looked like off the ball, it was very good, man. So this is how their shape was off the ball, people. Yes, they had basically it was like a 5-4-1. So you've got one there, Munoz there. I think that's Klein. I think that is. And then you had two more here, two centre backs here. Then you had a left back here. So it was not going to be an easy day. It was not going to be an easy day to break down these low blocks. This is where you're looking at the likes of Neto to keep taking on their man. You know, this is when you're looking at the likes of Madueke to keep taking on their man. You know what I'm trying to say? But for me in this game, we didn't really get the ball to Neto enough. This was the main problem that I had with that left-hand side, right? When he got the ball, he tried to whip it in a few times. I think he had 2 crosses, but he just wasn't really involved in the game. Most of what we were doing was coming from the right-hand side, which for me, look, if you're going to score and you're going to win games, so be it. But I like to have a little bit of variety in the game. You know, I like to have a little bit of variety in the game. You know, get both wingers involved in the game, because when we play Mudryk, for example, we don't really involve him as much. We mainly play off the right. So that's something that we need to learn to do. We need to use both sides. And especially now with Sancho coming in, apparently he's been brought in to play on the left. We're going to have to use it, yeah, because Sancho is very good on the ball and he likes to link up play. So he's going to be linking up with the likes of, you know, Enzo, if Enzo plays in that position, the likes of Dewsbury Hall if he plays in that position, you know, maybe even Nkunku, because Nkunku we've seen him get moved about quite a few times as well. So listen, that is what I want to be seeing going forward from the from the wingers. But listen, like I said, in that first half, you know, off the ball, we were controlling it. We weren't letting Palace, you know, have any clear-cut opportunities because of the shape that we were keeping off the ball. And what I really liked is how we were pressing them and how aggressive we were in order to win the ball back, right? If you look, for example, here, the way that we were pressing to win the ball back, right? Look how many bodies are around the ball here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. And this was 6 minutes into the game. And from this position here, we won the game. Sorry, we won the ball back. And that's what I want to be seeing. I want to be seeing us winning the ball back at least 5 seconds after losing it. Yeah? Because with this system, at the moment, it seems that there's a few holes in behind and there's a few problems that we need to work out in the midfield. Yeah? But if you win the ball and you're aggressive and you don't let them get out that press, very dangerous, because that's when you can counter the way that we did for the goal. Yeah, and that's what I want to get on to next in terms of, you know, how we actually got ourselves in the position there to score that goal. And what I noticed was that Fofana, he actually started off that move, I believe. He started it off from the back. He played it straight into the midfield. And you can see how many players we had running at Palace's back 5 even. Yeah, running at them. And at this point, it was a counter-attack. So they didn't have as many players back. So you can see they've got, look, Will Hughes trying to track back after Madueke done him. You've got Wharton here trying to get back. Munoz here trying to get back. But look, we've outnumbered them. So you've got Madueke here, Cole Palmer here, Jackson here, and you had Neto here. These are the sort of positions that I want to be seeing. This is what you call perfect execution, because Madueke skipped past Hughes, played it into Palmer in behind. Palmer just slipped it into Jackson, 1-0. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. Yeah, simple but effective. And that came all the way from the back. That is another way you're going to be able to beat these low blocks. When they lose that ball, that's what I'm saying. You need to be aggressive in your press, because when they're trying to counter you, when they're trying to, you know, attack you, you need to win that ball quickly, because it's going to leave space in behind for them as well. And that's exactly what we did for that goal. You know what I'm saying? Very, very good goal, right? But then when you talk about some of the chances that we created, yeah, I want to talk about Enzo Fernandez, because I saw a lot of people cooking him for this game. And listen, Enzo, people, is not, for me, he shouldn't be in that third phase or mainly in that second phase. He is best as a deep line playmaker. He needs to be the guy that's picking up the ball, looking at the pitch and dictating the game, basically. That is his best role. If you're asking Enzo to make quick decisions like a Palmer in the 10, he's not going to be able to do it because his brain doesn't think that quick. And let's be real, Enzo isn't that mobile. He's not the slowest guy, but he's just not that mobile, right? And I look at Enzo as a similar profile to Toni Kroos. I'm not saying he's as good as Toni Kroos, people, because people will be like, oh my God, he compared him to Kroos. I'm not comparing him to Kroos. I'm talking about the profile of the player. Yeah. Kroos picks up the ball deep from the centre backs. He basically plays as a centre back at times, and he'll just spray passes, long range passes. That's what I want to be seeing Enzo doing. Yeah, because I'll get into the second half what I didn't like in terms of his positioning. Yeah, I don't feel like we're maximizing his strengths at the minute. We're showing more of his weaknesses, right? He was sloppy on the ball in parts. I can't excuse that. But for me, you're not going to see the best Enzo unless you're playing him in these sort of positions where he's picking up the ball from here. Like I said, he had a similar sort of assist when we played against West Ham. That's the season when we finished 12th, right? So from here, look at that. He took out this guy, he took out this guy, he took out all these guys here with just one pass. There's even two more here. Madueke made a good run. Should have finished it, but to be fair to Henderson, it was a decent save, to be fair. But these are the sort of positions that you want to be seeing Enzo in. You know what I'm saying, people? You know? But what I really like at the moment is I'm seeing Levi Cole and Fofana finally starting to build a bit of momentum at the back, build a bit of chemistry at the back. And this is what I was saying to people. I don't think Cole and Fofana are as bad as what we've been seeing, right? We just haven't had a pairing at the back for so long. Even when Silva was here, you know, there's certain times you'd get injured or whatever, someone else would come in. 1 week is Badia Shiw and Disasi. 1 week is this guy and that guy. You're never going to build cohesion at the back by doing that. And the back will forever look fragile if you keep doing that, right? But now, Cole and Fofana, the past 2 games, they've been very good. They've done their job. You know what I'm saying? They have done their job, you know? So, listen, going into the second half, I was comfortable with what we did in the first half. I was annoyed with the amount of chances that we missed. But I actually tweeted, I said, listen, we need to score as soon as possible because we don't like winning games by 1 goal. You know what I'm trying to say? And straight away, in the second half, listen, the shape was just all over the place. And when I talk about Enzo Fernandez, I want to specifically speak about Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer because I think this was actually an instruction that came from Maresca. And for me, it just didn't work. It did not work at all. Yeah. So this is where I was seeing Cole Palmer mainly taking up his positions in the second half. I'm seeing Cole Palmer getting the ball from here, right? In the first half, I wasn't seeing this as much. Yeah. With Palmer, his main strengths are in the final third because he's our best creator. So you want Cole Palmer to be as close as possible to the goal. That's what you want. You want him as close as possible to the goal. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you've got Cole Palmer taking up these sort of positions, yeah, this is something that's just irritating me now because Poch was doing the same thing with Enzo. Why am I seeing Cole Palmer picking up the ball from here and Enzo Fernandez as the furthest man? To me, it should be the other way around. Enzo should be the one picking up the ball here because look at Mateta and look at Eze. They're sitting back, yeah? Surely Enzo Fernandez can pick up the ball from here like I've seen him do 1,000,001 times and just dictate the game, right? Because as soon as Palmer will play the pass to Enzo, Enzo's just not, like I said to you guys, he's not a 10. So he'll get the ball, he'll just get tackled. He'll get the ball, he'll try and make a pass, it'll be sloppy. Because his brain, again, does not think like a creative maestro, like an artist, right? He needs time on the ball to face the pitch and work out what he's going to do next. This was a problem. Palmer should have been the one here with Enzo Fernandez being the one here, right? And what's really starting to annoy me as well is that I'm seeing us conceding the same sort of goals, yeah? Same sort of goals. There's a pattern in the sort of goals that we concede. People run through our midfield, usually. That's what tends to happen on the transition. Or the ball drops to someone and there's no one pressing them and they have all this time to do whatever they want, yeah? You cannot be giving guys like Eze and guys like Olise all that time to be popping off shots, yeah? Because these guys, they just wrap their foot around the ball. You know what I'm saying? R1 circle. If you know, you know. If you play FIFA, you know about R1 circle, yeah? That's how you finesse the ball, right? And that's exactly what Eze did to us. Again, yeah? This is exactly what Eze did to us. Let me just show you guys Eze's goal, yeah, and everyone's positioning for Eze's goal. So if you look here, look at all of this. You've got Cole Palmer here. You've got Caicedo over here. You've got Enzo in the box. Why is no one here pressing him? Why is no one here putting their body in the way? And like I said, I've seen this pattern consistently. So it's not a coincidence anymore. Maresca needs to drill it into these guys that, listen, one of you needs to make sure that you're watching the loose man, right? Because last time I was seeing Enzo against Man City, he was marking KDB when Kovacic just skipped past Caicedo, and then Enzo, he just skipped past him as well, like he wasn't there. Our midfielders need to learn how to be a little bit more aggressive and pull a man back if you need to. Yeah, as long as you're not the last man, get a booking, bro. Get a booking, because we keep conceding too many goals like this, and it's irritating. It's irritating because this was the only chance really, and Kamada second half as well, where he shot and Sanchez got like his hand on it. That was the only thing that they really did. Apart from that, listen, there was nothing else. You know what I'm saying? You know, and in the second half, they were frustrating us, people. Yeah. If I show you guys their shape in the second half, this was Palace's shape in the second half. Yeah, they were just sitting back and saying, "Yeah, come break us down." Yeah. And at this point, this is when you had João Felix on the pitch. You had obviously Madueke was here. Nkunku wasn't on the pitch at this point, but we just wasn't that good in the second half individually. Palmer was getting on the ball. He was quite sloppy. You had Madueke was taking way too many touches on the ball. Neto was non-existent. Mudryk actually came on. Do you know what? I actually thought Mudryk did all right when he came on, to be honest with you. He created a very good chance for Jackson as well in the last few seconds, which it wasn't easy because it was on Jackson's left foot. But a striker will probably just put their foot through the ball there across goal. But we know Jackson's not a natural striker. Yeah? That guy shoots and he does not put any conviction in his shooting, bro. It's so annoying. Yeah? When you play football at a decent level or high level, they always tell you to lock your foot when you're passing the ball and lock your foot when you're shooting. Yeah? So you can actually get some real oomph into that. Yeah? That's what strikers like Haaland do. Strikers like fucking Duran. He's another one that locks his foot really good. That's what Jackson needs to learn to do. Because these are just basics of football. How can you not know how to lock your foot as a striker, bro? Yeah? I know you grew up as a winger, Jackson, but bro, you're a professional footballer. You get paid a lot of money. I'm sure you do a lot of training every day, even after. Learn how to lock your foot, man. You know what I'm saying? But listen, in the second half, I did not like the in-game management at all because, he took off Neto, he brought on Felix on the left. He then obviously took off, I think he took off Gusto at one point, and obviously Madueke. You had Nkunku playing on the right, Palmer in the midfield. It just felt like there was too many people in the midfield that were getting in the way of each other. For me, Felix, when he came on, should have been in between the lines. This is where you want Felix over here. When Nkunku came on, he should have been here. Palmer should have been sent to the right with Nkunku taking up these positions over here, right? Because Nkunku is not a touchline winger. Neither is Palmer, to be fair, but he's a better right winger than Nkunku. Yeah? So Nkunku, when he came on, his quality wasn't good as well in the final third. He wasn't good enough. There was a point where he got the ball, he was trying to dribble with it, and then he just kind of gave it away. It was sloppy. Felix was getting in between the lines, was running at people, but again, the end product was dead. Mudryk, again, like I said, he was looking a little bit sharper on that side, but he didn't really get the ball enough, right? Palmer was dropping way too deep. So for me, like I've said, in the second half, the individual performances were not good enough, and the in-game management was not good enough. And that is a recipe for disaster. Yeah? Recipe for disaster. It kind of felt like we were just freestyling in that second half. And that is why I keep saying it is very important that we take our chances. Because if we took our chances, the game will be wide open, like what we saw against Wolves. Yeah? It'll be wide open like that. Palace would have to come out, yeah, and try and play with us. But they couldn't. But they just sat back and said, you know what, we've got our goal, let's just sit back and chill. You know what I'm saying? And we really struggled. So next game, what I want to see from Maresca, if you are taking off our wingers, please make a like-for-like sub. Yeah? If we're winning the game, I don't mind if you want a little bit more control. Yeah, if we're winning the game. But if we need to go for it and we need to attack teams, I don't want to be seeing Felix coming on for Neto. Yeah? I want to be seeing someone direct like Mudryk. Yeah? Maybe even Sancho on that side as well. Someone that can actually take on their man consistently on that side. Yeah? In the midfield, I don't want to be seeing Nkunku playing on the right. I don't want to be seeing that, bro. Palmer, I don't want to be seeing you taking too many touches in the second half because you were taking a piss, bro, in the second half. Yeah? Same thing as you, Madueke. Yeah? So these are little things that I've noticed, people, in the second half that weren't good enough. But these are very, very easy things to iron out. Very, very easy things to iron out. Execution needs to be better, and the in-game management needs to be better, and definitely the mentality needs to be better as well. We can't be going into second halves because we've had a good half thinking, yeah, we're just going to win the game now. It doesn't work like that. Yeah? We haven't got to that stage where we could just be cocky because defensively we're still fragile at the moment. Yeah. And we still need to work out that balance in the midfield because I don't like Enzo being one of the furthest midfielders. He needs to be playing as a deep line playmaker. That's what he did yesterday for Chile, and I'm seeing he had an amazing performance. That's where you're going to see the best Enzo. Enzo for me is like a 5. He's a 5. That's his best position. You know, him crashing the box he's sloppy, bro. He's not good there. Let's be real about it. So if you can't play him in the first phase, just bench him. Just bench him. I'd rather see Dewsbury Hall in between the lines. I'd rather see Felix start there in between the lines. I'd rather see Carney start there in between the lines. But we've got Enzo, a guy that's meant to be dictating play, playing in between the lines, bro. It just doesn't make sense to me. It does not make any sense to me. But listen, people, let me know what you think of my thoughts, man. Let me know what you thought of the game, like I said the other day. Until the next one, man. In a bit.